evening, everyone, and welcome to our Geekdom Community Fund Pitch Day, where you will get to hear finalists who have been pitching to our guest investor panel for our Q4 Community Fund. This is our last community fund of 2021, and we're so excited to showcase these companies to you and to see who will be the recipient of a $25,000 Safe Note investment from Geekdom.
Before we get started, I'm your boy JRG. I am John Garcia, Program Manager here at Geekdom. Who are you?
Yeah, good question. I am Leslie Chasnoff, the Programs Director here at Geekdom. And I also want to tell everyone a little bit more about this community fund. So the Geekdom Community Fund is a quarterly investment opportunity for Geekdom member companies who have been active in our community over the last 90 days or longer. So that means if you're a Geekdom member who has a company, you are welcome to apply every quarter for this opportunity, that's 4 times a year, to receive a $25,000 Safe Note investment from Geekdom. And we have seen so many companies over the last few years since this started in 2018 go through this process, get this first tiny little pre-seed amount of funding to maybe create their first beta version of their product, wrap up production on it, maybe go towards their first marketing spend or part-time contract hire. So many great things that take the companies forward one step closer to product launch, one step closer to traction, revenue, or one step closer to raising a pre-seed or seed round. And our Geekdom Community Fund is one of many different programs we offer here at Geekdom to help entrepreneurs on their journey into taking their startup from an idea into a viable business that's ready to launch or be taken to the next level. So you can come to one of our startup weekends. We're hosting 8 of those in 2022. We just wrapped up one last weekend here at Geekdom in December, and that's exactly what it sounds like. A weekend, 54 hours, packed full of you pitching ideas on Friday and then pitching the full company deck and everything on Sunday to judges. And then we have our Geekdom Incubator. So this is going to be launching next year as an updated program for Geekdom. It's 10 weeks long and helping people who come out of, say, maybe a startup weekend or who are a little bit further along with their idea process in the community to really dive into financial modeling, the nitty-gritty of pitching your company. What is your product actually going to be and what is it going to take to get there, right? So really taking that idea stage and forming it into a roadmap to getting it to launch. Then we have our Geekdom Pre-Accelerator, which will also run for 6 weeks next year. And this program helps someone who has got a little bit of traction, they've maybe got a testable product out there, or maybe they're starting to get some revenue and customers, but we're helping you at that point decide how you're going to scale and preparing to scale, especially if you're going to be looking for funding. So it's a lot about pitching your company really well, making any pivots that are going to get you to that traction and growth faster, and a lot of hands-on mentorship with high quality mentors like folks from our investment community and really seasoned entrepreneurs that we see go through our mentorship program as well.
The people that have been there and done that already before.
Yes, and today you are going to see several companies who have participated in some of these other Geekdom programs. Kyle Pierce from Astronaut Hopeful, he just went through our Techstars Startup Weekend this last weekend. We have Ashley Bird, who started her company Blooming with Birdie at last year's Startup Weekend at this time and also went through our Pre-Accelerator this last summer too. And then we've of course seen both Tara from HydroTek and Alex from KLS Creativity apply for different programs and come through things as well. Both of them actually went through Startup Weekends over this last year too.
We're really excited to see 4 awesome pitches today from 4 awesome community companies. First off, we're going to hear from Astronaut Hopeful.
I'm Kyle Pierce. I am the founder and CEO of Astronaut Hopeful. So in 2017, I got out of the Army and I decided that I wanted to become an astronaut. But I realized that it's not as easy as the application process makes it out to be. And so I attended a talk by a retired astronaut by the name of Jose Hernandez. And he said, there's a couple things that you can do to increase your odds of success. And so I started doing those things. And I realized that, hey, maybe there's a market for this. I hope to have an impact on young adults as well as adults who seriously want to consider becoming an astronaut. I think that Up until now, it's just been NASA selecting 10 out of 12,000, particularly most recently. But I think that in the very near future, becoming a civilian astronaut is going to be a thing. And so I want to be on the ground level helping people to actually achieve that. So Astronaut Hopefuls is a community of people who are serious about becoming an astronaut. There's Reddit groups, there's Facebook groups, Yahoo groups, all by the name of Astronaut Hopefuls. And so I thought, Astronaut Hopeful. It sounds great, and it is tailored to the community that I think I'm after, the people who are serious about wanting to become an astronaut. Hi everybody, I'm Kyle Pierce, and I'm the founder and CEO of Astronaut Hopeful. So how many of you in the audience have children? And how many of your children or yourselves ever dreamed of becoming an astronaut? It's cute, right? I mean, it's not like becoming a doctor or a lawyer. Becoming an astronaut is one of those things that you do as a kid, but then as you become an adult, you grow out of it, and you start thinking about real things in life. Well, I'm here to tell you that becoming an astronaut is real. Right now, there were over 12,000 applications in 2020 to become a NASA astronaut, 10 of which were selected this year. And I think in the very near future, there will be a civilian astronaut corps that is recruiting people who are outside of NASA. So my question is, why go to space camp or send your kid to space camp when you can send them to an astronaut boot camp and give them the real training that they need to be on the path to become an astronaut? My company will use $25,000 from the Geekdom Fund and my own personal investment to start this astronaut boot camp, and it'll begin with an aviation ground school and a scuba school. So who am I? So I'm a consultant, a tech consultant at Ernst & Young, but more importantly, for this purpose, I got out of the Army in 2017 and decided that I wanted to be an astronaut. And I realized that the application to become an astronaut is very simple, at least the NASA application. But I went to a talk by Jose Hernandez, a retired NASA astronaut, and he gave a couple of things that you can do to improve your qualification. And so I started doing those things. I became a private pilot. I became a scuba diver. I went and I climbed one of the tallest volcanoes in North America. And I realized when I was doing all these things that doing those things was tough, but also doing the logistics to do those things was very difficult. So I thought, wouldn't it be great if there was a place that had some of this training or all of this training consolidated into one package? So that's why I decided to found Astronaut Hopeful. There's a lot of stuff on this slide. I'm a consultant, so I like quad charts. So we'll start with product. The product's going to be a 6-day astronaut boot camp. The price is going to be a little under $2,000, $19.99. And if we'll jump over to the competition, you'll see that space camp for ages 15 to 18 is $14.99. So I'm reasonably priced. The customer will initially start off with this space camp cohort, 15 to 18, but it's open to any adult who wants to be an astronaut. The minimum age, though, to take the FAA ground exam is 15. And keep in mind that the average astronaut is about 35. So the question is, what am I going to use this Geekdom Community Fund money for? And the answer is, I'm going to use it mostly to hire talent. So I'm going to hire an aviation ground instructor and a social media director. And we're going to outsource the scuba initially, and after we've brought in some revenue or more investment, we will start developing our own pool, and I will start hiring my own scuba instructors. So, grand vision. What do we see here? Starting off with a traditional classroom experience, the 6-day boot camp, progressing into an online course where people who don't have the funds to come to San Antonio can do this training remotely, then building into geographic expansion, so putting this in as many cities as possible so that people who really want to be an astronaut have the opportunity to do so. And then, if we become the premier civilian astronaut corps training program, I would like to take this to an IPO or potentially do deals with the likes of SpaceX or Blue Origin. So that's Astronaut Hopeful, and that's what I would use the Geekdom Community Fund for. Thank you.
My name's Tara Lujan. I'm co-founder and CEO of HydroTek, and I'm actually a senior at Trinity University. I'm studying business administration with a concentration in management. I came up with this company when I was playing semi-professional soccer for the San Antonio Athenians, I noticed that a lot of my teammates were complaining about being dehydrated, and I was wondering why these elite athletes are having such a hard time keeping track of how much water they drink in a day. First and foremost, I hope to help all athletes improve their performance by providing them awareness of their hydration, and then also I want to help the world just maintain a better, healthier lifestyle through hydration tracking. This $25,000 investment will help us finish up demo units, help us launch a beta program, and it will guarantee that our company has a full-time presence within the Geekdom community. Hi, my name's Tara Lujan. I'm co-founder and CEO of HydroTek. You've probably been told your whole life that you should be drinking 8 glasses of water a day, but hydration needs vary tremendously from one person to the next, and recommendations should be far more individualized than this. We've discovered that many people have a difficult time knowing how much water they drink in a day, and current solutions do not fit our consumers' needs. Current solutions are expensive fitness technology and expensive smart water bottles. At HydroTek, we create smart solutions that help our consumers stay on top of their daily health by keeping them engaged with what matters most, water. And it all starts with Sapphire. Sapphire is a patent-pending lid replacement that automatically tracks the amount of water you consume in a day, and it sends that data to our companion app. Sapphire enhances your current water bottle by replacing its existing lid. Our companion app is where you'll find your hydration score. It's an at-a-glance indication of how closely you're meeting your hydration needs based off of your daily activity. We generate an individualized plan for every user every day. Together, Sapphire and the hydration score will provide our users the ability to discover trends, follow patterns, and learn where they can improve their own hydration habits. A HydroTek solution is crucial for athletes to have a superior performance. Between their rigorous practices, games, and tournaments, it's difficult to know if they're drinking enough water to be at their best. Oftentimes, athletes find out they're dehydrated in the middle of a game, which is way too late. HydroTek will provide athletes an advantage by providing seamless awareness to their own hydration habits. We do have a few competitors in this space with meaningful traction, but they all sell smart water bottles. They require you to shelve your favorite water bottle that's probably covered with stickers, decals, and dents to settle for their designs. Sapphire complements and enhances the popular water bottles on the market today. It is a lid replacement, not a bottle replacement. What better way to personalize your hydration than to let you use your own water bottle? HydroTek is made up of a team of exceptional athletes that are passionate about improving the performance of athletes across many sports through hydration. We all met during our time at Trinity University right here in the heart of San Antonio. Zach is a well-rounded engineer with the skills and real-world experience to lead HydroTek's development. Neil is a fantastic electrical engineer whose skills extend far beyond designing electric circuits. And I am the passionate and driven leader of this team, and I know we have what it takes to see this through. And we're not alone. We are surrounded by seasoned business executives and entrepreneurs from the San Antonio community that support and guide us on this journey. HydroTek was founded a few years ago when the three of us were studying at Trinity University together. Zach and I took the idea to the Stumberg competition, and we placed first in October of 2020. Then we filed for a non-provisional patent, and then this past September, we were Tech Fuel semi-finalists. In January, Zach and Neil will transition to full-time roles at HydroTek. From there, we'll be able to finish up demo units, we'll bring on a UI UX engineer, and then we'll be in a position to launch our beta program, which then will gather feedback from our users, which we'll use to continually improve our product and user experience. After that, we'll be in a position to launch our Kickstarter campaign, which will provide us funding for our first large production run. The $25,000 investment will fast-track our product development. It will enable us to hire and retain local talent, and it guarantees that our company will have a full-time presence within the Geekdom community for the next 6 months building up to the launch of our Kickstarter campaign. Thank you.
I am Alejandro Berea, and I help people acquire real-world English skills so that they can use that for a greater quality of life. That's what I do. And why did I start this business? I started this business because of being Mexican born and raised. I have witnessed firsthand what it means to not speak English in terms of wage inequality and the whole thing. And I don't think that's an acceptable thing. That should not keep happening in this world. And I don't think people should feel stupid about not being able to master a second language. Now, what I think are going to be the effects of what we're doing, the impact of what we're doing. I really hope that people will, the feeling of stupid when you don't master a language for 2 or 3 years, that should disappear, because we should be able to really help people get across the line and to use the skills. And finally, I hope that the learning techniques that we are applying in our platform will reverberate across other industries, just so people learn better and faster. And finally, what will the impact be of the $25,000 grant from Geekdom will be? It'll make us ready for the seed funding round. It'll help us test and validate our MVP. It'll help us have a really robust set of data for investors to just love our platform and take it to the next level. Real world spoken English. Over 1.7 billion people all over the world today are trying to learn English, and only to feel stupid because they can understand the subtitles in Netflix, but they don't understand a word of Kim Kardashian's Instagram stories. Only less than 10% people who are studying are ever going to succeed at becoming fluent in English. Now, what this is costing people in the world is a non-English speaker will make at least 40% less than an English-speaking person, at least. And these people are wasting 800 hours of instruction only, again, to feel stupid because they don't understand a simple conversation. Now, and this is happening. Why is this happening today? 2 words: taco, taco. Taco, taco. Same word, same letters. However, 75% of the sounds in the word taco do not exist in the Spanish language. And these are phonetic nuances. Just like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Well, if we try and sing that in the correct English that existing solutions are teaching people today, it sounds like, what are you going to do when they come? I don't even feel like finishing the song, right? You don't feel it. So we took these phonetic nuances and we built an app that is designed to develop real-world speaking and listening skills through a bite-sized, Netflix-style content experience. What this means is that learners get 30-second videos or shorter that train their brains and their ears to finally master the sounds of English that they hadn't been able to master before. Now, this is a representation of how different the sound of taco versus taco really is. Now, how is this going to make money? Because all the impact in the world is beautiful, but it doesn't make any sense if it's not sustainable, right? Well, we get learners to engage in our platform. They consume streaming content for free in our platform. And then when they say, hey, I really want to learn how to say what you gonna do, they click on our instructional features and content, and that's where we get paid subscribers. But how are we gonna get to as many learners to make this a sexy venture, right? Channel marketing. We are in early talks right now with mobile carriers such as AT&T Mexico to get to as many learners as we possibly can. We're also having discussions with content owners so we can get to those audiences and give them the content that they really need to learn real life English. But how far can this get us? Now, these are conservative projections. This is what actual companies are making today, but I want us to focus for a moment only on the over-delivery milestone, only on the first milestone, which is over-delivery. This is where we gain our early community of learners, the ones who are not only going to advocate for what we're doing for them, but they will also help us refine our product to make sure that we are giving the market what they want, expect, and are willing to pay for. And now is the perfect time because the pandemic has led to a 30% increase in language learning solutions. It has also made people ready and receptive to online learning. And finally, we can become the leaders of the pack in a pulverized market because we care about learners crossing the line and using English to live a better life. Now we're going to be doing a soft launch of our working prototype over the next few days. And we're going to have solid traction data available at the end of the first quarter of 2022. Now, this is just to show you an overview of how we are using a laser focus on the items that our competitors are not paying attention to, and that's the one thing that we're going to be delivering to our learners. But who is going to be driving this thing? How can we know that this is really going to make it? Let's start with Jose, our young, hyper-talented CTO who not only built our fantastic working prototype, but also he has the sensitivity to create a solution that becomes a lovable user experience. And then you have the guy who's telling you taco, who not only has taught himself 6 languages, but he's been a language entrepreneur for the past 20 years, and he has, I have to say, an undeniable eye of the tiger. But we are not alone. We are supported by extraordinary individuals who have donated their knowledge and their time to help us prepare this, our third application for this fund, and make sure that it makes sense. And thank you, Geekdom, for this. Now, this is a story of huge visibility for Geekdom in San Antonio, because this solution can finally get the 20 million plus non-English speakers today in the US to fluency. And how would we distribute the Geekdom Community Fund? 3 ways, basically. 1, to support our marketing initiatives. This includes talking to our potential partners. Number 2, to produce our in-app instructional content. And 3rd, to build 1, possibly 2 new features based on what we learned from our soft launch. Now this, plus Alex's own funds, and our highly efficient team of developers should carry us through the next 3 to 6 months to be ready for the seed funding round. Taco, gracias.
My name is Ashley Bird, and I am the founder of Blooming with Birdie. At Blooming with Birdie, we bring digital learning to life with Montessori-inspired, educational, engaging, and entertaining children's media. I was a Montessori educator for years, and regardless of what name I gave in the classroom when I first started, I became Birdie within a week. For our business, it's our next stage of growth and development. It'll provide us with the opportunity to be able to scale and to be able to have a product that incorporates AR, which we're super excited about, and completely accessible so that everything can be done in the home through evergreen content. Hi, my name is Ashley Bird, and I am the founder of Blooming with Birdie. We bring digital learning to life with Montessori-inspired, educational, engaging, and entertaining children's media. So I have a quick question for you. Raise your hand whenever you think you know the answer. How many hours a day does an adolescent spend in front of a screen? 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6? The answer is 7. And this is a concern. So just last week, the Surgeon General released a statement of concern about children and their screen time in direct relationship with the correlation to children's mental health, specifically depression and a lack of coping skills. And parents know it too. The #1 source of conflict between parents and children is around screen time. But I'm gonna argue that in the digital age, we can't change this. Our kids are going to be in front of screens, but what we can change is the quality of that content and the intention behind it. So when you look at what's currently available, the majority of children and that amount of time that they're spending on screens is doing video streaming. And currently, the place where you get video streaming is designed to keep children on the screen, as well as content that is not monitored. So children end up watching content that tells them that a pumpkin is a circle when a pumpkin is a sphere. So this is Mr. Rogers, my childhood hero and my hero of today, because he went into children's media not because he liked it, but because he recognized the opportunity to meet children where they are and provide them with data-supported quality programming that enhanced their lives. So this is the inspiration for our solution, which is Blooming with Birdie. In Blooming with Birdie, we leverage our 3 E's of being educational, engaging, and entertaining to provide children with quality content that teaches them to use technology as a tool for learning. We go to our screens to learn, not to escape. And the way that we do this is by combining our inspiration of Mr. Rogers for socially emotional and socially responsible content with the hands-on independent learning of Montessori, which permits us to bring digital learning to life, both on the screen with hands-on quality programming and activities during the lessons and after the lessons, when children are inspired to go outside or to whatever activity and apply what they've learned. So the feedback for everything that we've done has been super, super positive. We were evaluated by the UTSA mental research team, and they validated our 3 E's. But the best feedback that we received was from a parent who said that their children fell in love with the character, absolutely loved the content, were completely engaged, and most importantly, they took what they learned and they applied it to the real world by identifying plants and further engaging their experience. This is the win. So for our customer segments, we have 2 customer segments. Our first one came about after we released our first series and found that product-based organizations need support in creating their educational content and curriculum, and that we can offer the unique value proposition of being Montessori inspired. So for this particular collaborative revenue model, we've generated over $10,000 in revenue, but what's really valuable here is that we have the opportunity to collaborate with 3 more. And we realize that with co-branded and co-distributed, we will have the opportunity to be exposed to a significantly larger market. So our other customer segment is our B2C, which are homeschools and families. And for this particular revenue stream, we have our Caterpillar condo product, in which we sell for $75 a kit. We've had amazing traction. We were in over 40 homes and homeschools, and through a grant from Valero, we were in over 90 educational centers, and all over Texas. And we sold out, which is mostly good, except that we were only using word-of-mouth marketing, and we realized that it's hard to distribute a physical product, and it's seasonal. So right now, we're getting exposure through these other companies, but we don't have anything to offer our customers. So how can we solve our problem? We want to create an evergreen product that is completely digital, where we're able to leverage AR technology and be able to create content designed for them to have all of the materials that they need in their home. So it's accessible. And that with this one Evergreen series, if we reach just 1% of our target market with a 32% conversion rate with all of the marketing that we're doing, we will have almost a $500,000 company within our first year. So this is exactly why we're here and what we want to do. We want to invest not in 1, but in 2 series. We also realize that in order to be able to grow, we're going to need more writers, so bringing on additional curriculum writers to expand our content portfolio, as well as continue to invest in marketing and bring on our incredible intern part-time. So we are ready to bloom. We started at Techstars back in 2020. We went through the Geekdom Pre-Accelerator and learned how to refine our business model. We were successful and completely sold out in our first launch of our product. And now we're ready to grow and to expand with 2 new additional series with a long-term goal of creating a platform called Morrow, where we are able to house content that leverages our 3 E's for children and parents to have a safe place for their children to watch content. We have the team in place to be able to support this endeavor. I operate as a Montessori educator and the CEO. I have an incredible producer who does all of our production. We have an amazing CFO and our intern who is the most amazing person I've ever met. So we've had one incredible year of success. We were profitable, and most importantly, we developed really amazing relationships with our Geekdom community. We've been able to give back as a mentor, and most importantly, we've had a huge impact on organizations throughout all of San Antonio. Please support us in being able to help continue to have this type of impact, not only on our community, but on our children. Thank you.
Wow, amazing pitches from the 4 companies that went through this last Q4 Community Fund. Now, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about Geekdom. You've probably heard of us, but our mission is to build San Antonio one startup at a time. We have founder-friendly, startup-specific programs to get your ideas to the next level. Before we wrap things up, I'm gonna pass it over to Leslie, but before we get started with that, let's just do like one of these.
Yes, great job, companies. And we want to give some huge thank yous to everyone who's been a part of this community fund this quarter. So thank you again to all the companies who pitched. Thank you to all of those companies who applied. Thank you to our guest investor panel. We couldn't do this without you. So that includes Sebastian GARZON from Alamo Angels, Mary Allman Jaffet from Jaffet Media, and Jill Bassar from Epicenter. Thank you guys so much in helping us select who is going to receive the community fund this quarter.
Couldn't do it without you.
So in order to make it here today, pitching as a finalist, all of these companies had to submit an application that included a video highlighting their company, how they would use these funds, what makes them so special, and how they're going to give back to the Geekdom community and fit our mission as far as who we are, what we're doing, and how their company and business contributes.
Now, this just in, we are excited to announce the recipient of the Q4 Geekdom Community Fund. Who is it, Leslie?
All right, so this is always the most exciting part, and it's always a really difficult decision to make, as everyone who pitches brings so much to the table, and we can see the hard work you're doing for our community and for your company, and all the great ways this investment would take your company forward. Today's Q4 2021 Community Fund investment recipient will be Blooming with Birdie.
Bing bong. Bing bong. Let's give it up, let's give it up. All of you tuning in at home, show some love in the comments, in the chat, and help us celebrate this awesome milestone for Blooming with Birdie. A big thank you to all of the other companies that also applied, but the companies that pitched here at Geekdom. You all did so great, but we're really happy to announce that Blooming with Birdie is the recipient. As always, you can always find myself or Leslie in the Geekdom community. If you ever have questions or just want to check in and see what's going on here at Geekdom, come and find us. We're happy to help.
Yes, and thank you again all for tuning in today. Happy holidays. We can't wait to see you in 2022.
Bye, y'all.
Probably are getting better.
So Blooming with Birdie provides virtual, eco-centric, hands-on education. Okay, I'm ready now. I am the founder of Maro. Yeah, normally we do this in the dark. Okay. Hi, my name is Ashley Bird, but like my students, you can call me Birdie. Please support us in being able to help continue to have this type of impact, not only on our community, but on our children. Thank you. Ooh. Ooh. Got some bubbles.
We start with like welcome stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
It was just like,
All right, what else? Just the announcement? And then we can do anything else coming up? Okay. But today's Q Fun, you're Q Fun. Okay.